guys, thanks for tuning in and welcome to the very first episode of The Princess Speaks. In honor of Suicide Awareness Month, which is the month of September, this episode, as you can tell from the title, is going to be about getting through what you're going through. Going through things such as depression, anxiety, suicidal thoughts, based on different aspects of your life, basically. So yeah, let's get right into it. I'm gonna speak for myself. I may speak for other people. I'm gonna just speak. Okay, so what inspired me to do this topic was the simple fact that over these past couple of days, I just have not been feeling like myself. Like, some days I'd wake up unhappy. Some days I just feel like blah. I go to work and I feel even more blah. I can't wait to come home and just get in bed and just tuck for the rest of the day till the next day comes. And it's just like we're at that age where, well, I'm at that age where like I'm realizing like life is real. Like, problems that we were so oblivious to when we were younger, they're real. Like, I know I say a lot, but depression, anxiety, sadness, mood swings, it's all a result of the day-to-day struggles that we face as young adults. And yeah, I'm here to let you guys know that you're not alone. Like, no one is going through this alone. Personally, I feel like depression, it varies for every different person. Like, what is something that I may see as something depressing, you may not see as depressing. Something that someone can go through and they say, oh, it's depressing them. I feel like there's no one's place to tell them you're not depressed. That's not something that should depress you. Everyone moves at their own pace. Everyone goes through something, but I'm here to let you know that you can get through whatever you're going through. For example, there's people who go through things and you wouldn't even know that they're going through it. Like, you go through, I don't know, let's say someone just gets out of a really bad relationship. When someone gets out of a really bad relationship, you off rip expect them to just be, not even expect, but if they're down, if they're sad, if they just want to be to themselves, if they're quieter than usual, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. You know, they're going through something. Oh, they just really went through a really bad breakup, so that's really probably like the reason why they're acting like this, or whatever the case may be. Everyone has their own coping mechanisms. Some people have healthy coping mechanisms. Some people have unhealthy coping mechanisms. I won't even say do what works for you. Yes, do what works for you, but try to do the healthy things that work for you. Counseling is always an option. Therapy is always an option. Like, just find healthy outlets. Ride a bike if that's something that relieves stress. Write your thoughts down on a piece of paper if that's something that can help you relieve stress. Call a friend. And sometimes it's hard for you to just tell people how you're feeling. It's hard for you to just vent, because I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm not a very open person. Like, it's hard for people around me to know when I'm going through stuff, and I go through stuff. Like, I do. Like, we're all human. Like, we're gonna go through stuff. So my whole thing is just don't feel like you're alone. And I have to start taking my own advice, because I know that there's definitely people out there that's there for me. It's just hard. Like, how do you present your problem to someone without feeling like you're a burden? Because again, we all go through stuff. So there's times where you may feel like you want to vent, but the person who you want to vent to is probably going through something of their own. And then you're probably thinking like, oh, so how do I vent to them if they're going through stuff themselves? If that's the case, write it down on a piece of paper, rip it up, shred it up, and you could feel like that problem no longer exists. Read books. Personally, I'm the type of person where I stay busy to keep my mind off things, and it doesn't handle the problem, but it subsides the issue, if that makes sense. For example, when I'm going through things, like when my brother passed away 2 years ago due to a senseless act of gun violence. So how I coped was I just stayed busy. Like, I rarely had any downtime. And again, different things work for everybody, but if I have too much downtime, then my mind starts roaming and thoughts start flowing, and that's really how you kind of put yourself into a bad place. Because if you think about it, sometimes we really just be sitting down. When we have downtime, we sit down, one thought leads to another thought, that thought leads to another thought, and next thing you know, you're just in a daze, you're in a bad mood, you're just thinking about the worst. So I just like to keep busy, and it didn't, me keeping busy didn't just like remove the thought from my head that he passed away. It's just, it stopped me from putting myself into a bad mood. Like, granted, no one's gonna be happy that they lost a loved one, because still to today that shit just still don't register in my head. Like, it's still not there yet. But me having too much downtime would have really made me go crazy. So instead, I kept busy. I was working, I was going to school, I was a part of a student organization on campus at the time. It was just, I did a lot to keep busy, like, and that's just how I got through stuff. But I'm just here to again let people know that you're not alone, you're not the only one going through it. And even relationships, listen, you may get out of a relationship with someone who you thought you was gonna be with for the rest of your life. You may get out of a relationship with someone who you couldn't imagine yourself without. Life will go on, and you just have to try not to let it eat you alive. Like, do things that make you happy. And there's people who there's people who's out there that were in relationships that were so used to being with someone to the point where they don't know how to be alone. Once you learn and love how to be alone, baby, you good. Like, and that's what friends are for. You go out, enjoy your friends' company, enjoy your own company, go out, do the things that make you happy, do things that genuinely put a smile on your face. And there may be times where you may do things and it may remind you of somebody else, but hey, life goes on. And that's like one of the suckiest things about life. Like, no matter what happens, if you lose a loved one, if someone passes away, if if you're diagnosed with a health condition, if you just got out of a bad relationship, you just lost your job, you just lost your home, whatever the case is with life, the craziest thing is that it goes on. So whatever happens to you, you can't stop there, because life goes on. So the best thing to do, in my opinion, my advice, the best thing to do is to find a solution and keep it pushing. It's easier said than done, and it's gonna be hard days. Some days will be good days, some days will be bad days, but you gotta push through. Like, you really gotta push through, because you only have one life to live, and when our time is up, there's still gonna be people on this earth. It's gonna be people who we've left behind, and it's gonna be people that's gonna leave us behind. But no matter what, like, when you leave this earth, your goal should be to make an impact on this earth before you leave. So you don't really want to be that person who's just like always in a shell, always sad, because when you're gone, that's really going to be all people remember you for. Like, you want to make impacts on people, you want to be good to people, you want to try to be this happy person, try to make an impact, try to do things that make you happy. That's like the most important thing. Like, you don't want to be in your final days and you start thinking, oh, maybe I should have done this, maybe I should have done that. Don't get me wrong, be safe in everything that you do decide to do, but you only live one life, so you have to try to make the best of it. Take risks, do challenging things, because tomorrow's not promised at all. Take personal days off of work. That's another word of advice I can give, because especially like in this day and age, everyone is working a real 9-to-5 job whilst they're pursuing their dreams and becoming entrepreneurs. All of that can be very draining. Like, take a personal day off work. Take a personal day to yourself. A day you wake up and you decide, I really don't feel like doing anything today. I want to focus on myself today, and that is okay. I woke up and I decided that for myself today. Literally, like today, this day, I woke up, I was like, you know what? I don't feel like dealing with anything or anyone today. I'm not going to work. I'm going to take a personal day. I'm going to take a day to myself, catch a breather, breathe in, breathe out, collect my thoughts, do something that makes me happy. And here I am right now recording. Why? Because this is something that makes me happy. This is a stress reliever for me. And again, like I said, find like healthy outlets. One of my coping mechanisms is not so much on the healthy side. I sleep. If you know me personally, you know I sleep a lot. And people always ask me, why are you always sleeping? And my response is always, because I'm tired. I be tired, not even just physically tired, just tired of dealing with things, like tired of stressing, tired of thinking about this. Like, I be tired, so I go to sleep. If I'm sad, I sleep. If I'm too angry, I go to sleep. If I'm hungry, I go to sleep. If I'm missing somebody, I go to sleep. Why? Because when I'm sleeping, my mind is not roaming. I'm not thinking too much. Yes, when you wake up, maybe those same problems will still exist, but when you wake up, you're probably not even thinking about it anymore. You on to the next thing. You pick up your phone, you find something funny on Twitter. And that's another thing. Social media, I feel like, contributes greatly to the way we think of ourselves. We may feel like we're not doing too much, and that may put us in a depressive state. But listen, the people who you see on social media, you see them posting their success, but no one posts their failures. You're not gonna see how many times they had to fall before they got up to get to where they're going. You may think, oh, we're running the same race and they got to the finish line before me. You don't know how long they've been running that race secretly before they've been running the race publicly. You don't know how many times they failed to get to where they gotta be. No one is perfect. Like, even the biggest stars that you look up to, no one is perfect. Everybody goes through it. You got to move at your own pace, and you got to have faith in your craft and in what you're doing to know that, yeah, I'm gonna get to where I want to be. Yeah, at times you may thinking like, yo, I'm not even doing enough. I'm not where I want to be, because at this age, I'm sure we all feel that way. But we're like still very, very young. I'm gonna speak for myself. I'm still very, very young. Like, yeah, I'm grown, but I'm still young. I'm 23, but I'm still young. Like, and I have my whole life ahead of me. I am going to fail a few times before I succeed, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. That's just how life goes. So when you fall, you got to have faith in yourself to get back up, and the next time you fall, at least it won't be for the same reason that you fell before. Everything in life is a learning lesson. Like, you learn. That's the greatest thing about it. Yeah, you will make mistakes, you're gonna fail, but each time you fail, each mistake you make, you learning from it, so you don't have to do it again. So I'm gonna end this by saying, don't ever feel like what you're going through, that you're going through it alone. There's so many people who you could talk to. There's so many things that you can do to just ease your mind and get your mind off things. You're just never running a race alone. And if you need someone to talk to, there's hotlines you can call. I'm sure you have people who's there for you to call whatever time of the day. Write, even if there's nobody there for you to call, write it in your notes. Write it on a piece of paper. Shred it up, burn it if it makes you feel better. Go for a walk. Go take a vacation. Call a friend. Call your mom. Parents really sometimes just don't understand, but sometimes they do understand. Like, our parents will never steer us in a wrong direction, but sometimes we do feel like they don't understand. I'm gonna end here. And again, thanks for tuning in. I hope you gained something from this video. And I just want to tell you guys that you're not alone. And stay strong, because there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.